Sleep is the most undervalued element of wellness, but it brings the biggest return for your efforts.
It really is, guys. And listen, sleep is the answer. If you've ever experienced any of the following, if you're feeling tired all the time, if you're not getting the results you want when it comes to your health and fitness, is a big one. Big one. If you're stressed and agitated all the time, if you're always getting sick, if your moods are fluctuating up and down, if your performance is suffering or limited, whether you're at work, at home or hobbies, anything where you're trying to perform, likely that sleep is going to help you to improve that as well. And if your quality of thinking is tough, meaning if you're negative thinking, if you're overthinking, sleep is really going to start to help when you get that quality right.
Definitely. And these are just a few things that our clients, as well as us, have experienced in the past. Like most of that list, most of what Charlotte just said, just sounds like an extract from my life how it used to
It's
be.
like highlight reel.
It's like, oh, that sounded like me. That was me.
Reel.
Yeah, highlight reel, whatever. Yeah, low light reel. But yeah, and it's such a common theme with most people, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really is. And listen, as you're listening to us, can you relate to a time where you have not really slept properly the night before? You wake up, you're tired, you're irritable, maybe you can't think straight, you brain fog. How does your day go when you feel like that? Usually not great, right? Or you feel like you need to have that cup of coffee for everything to be all right. But the thing is, when that builds up and builds up and builds up, it becomes a problem. Okay, and we then start to fuel all of those things that we mentioned, right? Then what happens when we don't address it is we overthink even more, which then affects our ability to go to sleep, even though we're tired all the time. We wake up, we do the same thing. We don't try and fix it. We don't try and do anything about it. But then we still end up being moody. Then we go to bed upset. We go to bed angry. We go to bed holding this tension in our body. We wake up the next morning. We add more stress to our system, and it goes on and on and on and on.
Definitely. And it's important to realise that sleep, quality sleep, it does create the biggest return of your investment for a small amount of effort. And it's one of the first things that we address with our clients, and that is basically their sleeping habits, their sleep hygiene. So you can have the best nutrition in the world, you can have the best mindset, the best skills, but if your quality of sleep is compromised, then it will cause actually suffering in the long term to your wellness. So it is important that it kind of sleep ties everything in. With a poor night's sleep, and the more that continues, let's just say nothing is going to be optimized within your wellness.
It is, right. If you take like nutrition for an example, right, if you don't sleep well, your body doesn't recover, your organs, your systems don't do what they need to do in able to set you up again for the next day.
Definitely.
So like John said, you can have all of your other lifestyle factors in play, but if sleep is suffering, there's going to be a struggle. Okay, I'll give you another example though. I'll give you the flip side. Maybe you're listening to this and you think you've got all of that nailed, right? You're thinking positively and all is well. Maybe you're feeling like your moods are pretty consistent and you're fine, you're moving all the time, you've got fantastic nutrition. Well, that's all well and good, but at some point you still hit a plateau, right? You still hit that point of, okay, well, I need to perform even better. Right, because that's our nature, right? When we achieve something, and we then try and aim for something else. Most of the time, that's the way it goes, right? But we hit that plateau, even if it's our best, and it's our best plateau yet, we still need to push past that somehow. And sleep is the space that you get to leverage that, and you can level up. So by going to bed, you level up, right? Imagine like a video game. Literally, every time you go to sleep, you go to the next level, right? It's like awesome. We've kind of completed that level, it's time to go to the next one. Sleep allows you to have that level of progression. And what I mean about that space is when we get that sleep, we create this resourceful space inside of us. We're able to leverage that space so that our body can start to digest food in the way that we want it to, like in the example we gave. But it starts to do it on such a fast and resourceful, resilient level that actually then you've got space to affect your cell regeneration inside your system. Without getting sciencey now, like just let me pull it back in, is very much about making sure that you're working at your optimum, and sleep allows you to work at your optimum and perform at your best inside and out.
And we're not talking about the amount of hours that you sleep, okay? It's about quality over quantity. And literally, if you just go on Google and type in quality versus quantity in sleep, there are so many studies done about the effectiveness of the quality over quantity. And a lot of people's excuses for sleepers are, I don't have time to sleep 8 hours, I can't fit 8. You don't need 8. Some people might need 5, some people might need 8, but it's the quality. And there's a lot of studies done in particular around like that you're getting, for example, 5 hours of quality sleep versus 8 hours of broken sleep. And one of the research studies that I read, which was they tracked the effectiveness in terms of like concentration, focus, productivity, creativity of someone who slept 5 hours of quality sleep compared to someone who slept 8 hours but broken. So the quality wasn't great. And the person who slept 5 hours of quality sleep, their creativity was on point. They were focused, they were energized, because they were in those brainwave states as you sleep. That help you to regenerate, restore, and re-energize your body and fuel yourself. So when you wake up, you feel great. Whereas a person who's sleeping 8 hours of broken sleep woke up with some energy, but still feeling a bit groggy, a bit of brain fog, and wasn't as focused and able to actually perform the given task for that day. So it really goes to show that quantity is more important than quality is more important than quantity. Yeah.
And you're probably listening to this as well, thinking, yeah, but there's people out there that sleep like 1 hour a day and they're amazing and they can do all these incredible things. Yeah, there's going to be some outliers. There are going to be, because it's unique to you and what your body needs. It just means that that's all that person does need, and that is cool for them. It doesn't mean that you have to model that. If though you're feeling absolutely incredible and you've not got anything you're aiming for in terms of your wellness or going to the next level, or you're not having any struggles when it comes to your quality of thinking, your emotional states, your physical movement, your nutrition, your digestion, like anything, then you're set. And to be fair, they're probably not listening to this anyway. But the point here is that, for some people, they've already got this nailed. It's part of their nature. But for the majority, sleep is a struggle and it's undervalued and it's underrated. And when we really do start to pay attention to that quality, we notice so many benefits. We've noticed these benefits, and our clients have noticed these benefits as well, and that is like feeling more resilient, right? We're able to be more confident and handle situations differently. We're able to improve our moods. We're able to communicate better. We're able to reduce any stress or tension inside of our body, so we feel like we flow through life physically, emotionally, mentally as well. We don't get sick often. Our memory improves as well. That's just to name a few. There's so many benefits, and I think when you really start to invest in lifestyle habits, this is the one, right? So if you're thinking, well, guys, we've listened to you talk about this Magic 8 and these 8 wellness habits in previous podcast episodes, but it's too overwhelming. There's only one thing that I can concentrate on. Pick sleep first, is what I would say. What would you say?
Yeah, for sure, definitely 100%, because sleep will have a massive effect on every other area of your wellness.
It does. It's the easiest win.
So here's how to improve your sleep quality and reap the benefits without losing any extra time in your day or forcing yourself to go to bed early.
Yeah, so guys, the first one, you might have heard us say before, is no tech before bed, okay? And I think this is echoed all around the social media space in any wellness blog you read about sleep these days anyway. But having your devices in front of you, whether it's an iPad, a TV, a phone, you're basically almost convincing your nervous system that it's daylight, okay? And your body thinks, well, when it's daylight, we're supposed to be awake, right? So it triggers the hormonal response to keep you awake. But actually what we want to be doing is obviously drawing you in, so you're producing the hormones you need to rest and recover throughout your night's sleep. So no tech before bed.
No tech. Definitely. And the next one is blue light glasses, okay, like what I've got on here. Or blue light glasses. So these are great to wear first thing in the morning, at night time. So basically, whenever it gets dark, the blue light from your devices tricks your brain into thinking it's still daylight. Okay, which means it increases your alertness and keeps you awake.
And the blue light glasses help that.
Yeah, it helps to reduce the blue light and kind of switch off those kind of a chemical reaction in the brain that thinks you're still in the middle of the day.
So if you're thinking based on the first one that I said, like no tech before bed, if you're like, that's really quite a scary thing for you, because it really is for some people who've got such heavy attachments. The kind of compromise there is to get some blue light glasses, wear blue light glasses. You still need to be reducing your tech time and removing those devices and those screens, but the glasses is going to help you to do it in baby steps.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's going to help to improve your sleep with the glasses and using screens as well. Okay, so bear that in mind. The third one is make sure you've got a completely dark room. Okay, so no light coming in. Same idea as the last two. You know, when this light comes in, there's sensors in our body that will notice that and again trigger the nervous system and say, hey, it's time to wake up, when it's not.
Definitely. Even you got all the receptors all over your skin. Even if you get a bit of light that hits you, for example, on your leg, that will stimulate that chemical reaction to wake you up as well. So it doesn't even have to be in your eyes. Okay, so dark room is extremely important. Next one is having a cool room. My favorite. Like a nice cold room. Around about 18, 19 degrees Celsius is optimal to go into a nice deep sleep. Okay, if it gets too hot in there, it's impossible for your body to cool down and go into those deep sleep states that are needed for rejuvenation, restoration and energy.
The next one, guys, is to master the times that you're going to bed and waking up. So when you now know that how much sleep you actually need and the quality that you can fit in that's appropriate for your day, it's important then to start getting into a rhythm and a routine so your body knows what to expect. Okay, just like when we warm up to exercise, we're almost training the body to say, okay, we're about to do something, we're about to go run really fast. Okay, and we kind of prep ourselves, don't we? It's the same thing with our sleep. We need to prep ourselves that we're going to be going to sleep. So we need to start going to bed at the same time in the morning and going to bed in the morning, going to bed at night and waking up in the morning at the same times.
Definitely. The last one is about moving your workout to the morning to promote obviously healthier sleep cycles. It's obviously not something. It's something we recommend, but it's not something you have to do. Depends on if it doesn't fit your lifestyle. But moving your workout towards the morning for most people tends to help promote a healthier sleep cycle in the evening, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Definitely. So these these basics that we just mentioned, these 6 basics, will already help to get your sleep quality kind of on a higher level, help you to improve without really stealing any more of your precious time, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the key. I mean, that's what kind of took it for me, because I'm like, time is important to me. I would rather stay up and do some stuff and then go to sleep. And I think I could kind of win and leverage that. But actually, you gain more time when you have better quality sleep because you're functioning a lot better and much more efficiently. But listen, I just want to share with you a few common mistakes we see people make quite often. Okay, one of those is underestimating the importance of sleep and thinking that you're going to be more productive without sleep than with sleep. Over and over and over again, we prove that this is false. Okay, we know that in order for us to be more productive, we need to get that sleep in play. Okay, go back to what I asked you earlier. If you can relate to a time when you wake up and you're irritable and you've got brain fog, that's the proof right there. You've experienced it for yourself. Another common mistake that people tend to make is not taking enough time to wind down before bed. So like we've already mentioned about devices, like check the phone, check an email or something like that, and before going to sleep, and then we're wired now thinking about work or thinking about the next thing that we're supposed to be doing, or we're focused on something else. We're not taking that time to just reconnect with our bodies, reconnect with ourselves, being able to just start to wind things down for the evening. And that also then affects the time it takes you to go to sleep, which is called your latency. And we want to make sure that latency time is in around 20 minutes. Okay, any less than that, it shows that you're too tired, okay, and therefore you need to pay more attention to your sleep. If it's taking more than 20 minutes to get to sleep, or 30 minutes to get into that proper sleep states, then it's a sure sign, again, that you need to wind down a little bit more before bed so that you're kind of prepping yourself. Another one, common mistake is using caffeine for fuel. If you've listened to our episode on energy, okay, we talked about that a lot. But when we are using like caffeine as our fuel, or energy drink or energy bar as our fuel, then again we compromise our sleep because our body can't recover and it can't do what it needs to do with that caffeine to actually be able to give you the rest and the optimum function that you actually need. And the last one, okay, is thinking that we can make up for sleep on the weekend. This is so common. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to work really, really hard during the week and then I'll catch up on the weekend. Thing is, it's about a week, isn't it, to catch up on our sleep loss. So if we have one bad night's sleep, it takes almost a week. I think it's 5 to 7 days to catch up on that kind of deficit of sleep that we've had and that extra recovery. So if you have a whole week, that's going to delay your rejuvenation a lot longer, and that's not okay.
Definitely, because obviously, remember, it's like we said, it's not about the time that you sleep. So if you take an hour off a night and then you think, I'll add those hours to the week, it doesn't work like that. It's not about the hours you're recouping, it's the quality you're recouping.
The better the quality, the better we can move through our sleep cycles. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to go into that on this episode, but we've done some podcasts on this. So we've got like 6 tips to better night's sleep, something along those lines. We'll put the link underneath. And also like 2 sleep hacks as well. So it's really, really, really good because we talk in more depth about what are the deep sleep cycles, what is the REM cycles, how do you access those, and what's the benefits of accessing those as well is really key.
Definitely. So check them out as well to go deeper into the whole subject of sleep as well. So what we want you to do now after listening to this is to grab your wellness journal and start to score yourself on your sleep, the same as with your energy and the other areas of wellness we've been talking about. So score yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being low, 5 being high. So if you're sleeping soundly, you wake up energized, you feel great, you'll be a 5. Yeah. If you're not, and you're literally waking up all throughout the night, you can't sleep, you're tossing, turning, you wake up and all you feel is that you actually need now a rest to get over your sleep, then you'll be a 1. Okay, yeah. So track your sleep. You can also track your sleep on devices as well. We use something called Aura Rings, which is this. Okay, so this helps us track our sleep rhythms, our respiration rate, all this stuff as we sleep. We can obviously check it in the morning, see how well we sleep. And the funny thing is you can actually notice a direct correlation between how you feel and the results that the ring actually gives you. So there are many devices out there that can help you do that as well.
Absolutely. But for now, guys, you can use that scale of 1 to 5.
Yeah,
okay.
Easy.
If this is your starting point, then I think it's a great place to begin, and then start thinking about devices.
Yeah.
Again, more often than not, people now, unfortunately, they're using apps that are not actually connected with them in any way. Like they've got their phone, let's say, next to the head or on a table across the room, and that's supposed to be tracking their sleep. Whereas actually the data that you're receiving there is got so many disruptors that it's probably not even accurate. And that's also not okay, because people are waking up and being like, oh, I slept amazing, and they didn't. Yeah. Or they're waking up and I didn't sleep very well, and they did. And then they're making decisions throughout the day based on that. And that's also a rough place to be, because it's not in tune with you. So start with that 5 scoring system.
Exactly. Learn how to go gauge it based on how you feel first, before you start relying on technology to give you that little extra edge as well.
Yeah. And
then obviously as you score yourself, just tweak as needed depending on how you feel, what score you're giving yourself, and then your goal is to see a improvement over time of your sleeping quality and your sleeping habits. And it's very easy, takes no time at all. Just implement those little tips that we gave you, and you'll start to see that improvement happen.
Yeah, guys, stay with it, because it's not like you're going to do all those tips and then like magically a night's sleep. Like we said, it takes a bit of time to catch up. Okay. Yeah, exactly, and it's worth it. It's worth it because it doesn't take you any extra time. It just takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of tweaking, and then boom, you're away. All right, guys, if you have any questions on anything we've covered, please reach out to us anytime. We're always here to help answer your questions, to dig deeper with you if needed as well. All right.
Yeah, so that's it from us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Bye-bye.